The reason we don't care about work anymore is because they pay us a survivable wage and not a thrivable wage. And I want you to think about that distinction carefully because it's not accidental. A survivable wage keeps you functional. It covers rent, food, the basics, maybe a holiday once a year if you're disciplined enough. It keeps you in the game, it keeps you showing up, but it doesn't give you enough breathing room to seriously ask whether there's something else that you could be doing instead, because the cost of leaving feels too high. The runway just feels too short. You can see the door, but you can't afford to walk through it. And that's not a coincidence. I believe that that's by design. Whereas a thrivable wage is different. A thrivable wage is one where money stops being the primary reason why you stay, where you have enough margin to make real choices, where you could take a couple months off if you want and your life wouldn't collapse, or where you can afford to say no to things that are wrong for you without leading to a financial crisis. Most people in employment are nowhere near that number, and most of them don't even know what that number is because they've never done the maths on what thriving would actually cost them. They've only ever calculated what surviving requires, and that gap between what surviving costs and what thriving costs is exactly where the resentment lives. Because what a survivable wage does to you over time is it keeps you in a relationship with work that is fundamentally about necessity. You go because you have to. You stay because the alternative is financially frightening. You keep playing the game because the consequences of not showing up are just too real. And then you wonder why you don't care about work anymore or don't want to do work at all. The shift I help people make through my coaching is not just about earning more money, because yes, that is important and that matters and we can't pretend that it doesn't, but it's also about developing a completely different relationship with work, one where you show up by choice, not by necessity, where your skills are deployed in ways that generate enough margin that you stop feeling trapped by the job because it's not your only option. And building that requires getting honest about what you actually have, because you have already spent years, maybe even decades, being paid to develop expertise that other people desperately need and would pay for outside of the traditional employment context. The problem is that nobody has ever showed you how to extract those skills from someone else's salary band that they've put on you and get those skills to work for you directly. Nobody's taught you how to look at what you already have in your head and ask, what is that actually worth on your own terms? And this is the work I do with people in my coaching. We get really specific about what you have, what it's genuinely worth, and what income structure would generate the margin you need, and how to build towards something that doesn't require you to trade every available hour to access it. Because I truly believe that everyone should be able to build their own personalized income architecture around their skills, around their life, and what your version of thriving looks like for you, not someone else's or on someone else's timeline. If you're tired of surviving on someone else's terms and you are ready to do something about it, my coaching details are in my bio, so come and take a look at what working together actually involves. Because staying in a survivable wage bracket and hoping it eventually becomes enough is not a strategy. It's a waiting game, and the house always wins.